Morris. Dallas signing the veteran to a one-year deal, and according to our Jane Slater, will report to Oxnard, California today. The Cowboys were fortunate to get Morris. NFL Network insider Ian Rappaport reporting Morris was actually scheduled to work out for the Saints on Monday. This is a reunion, of course, of sorts for him as he played for the Cowboys back in 2016 and 2017. He spent last season with the 49ers. Now, if Zeke keeps his holdout going, Morris will be getting a lot of carries. It still wouldn't be as much as this man, as the Panthers use Christian McCaffrey. McCaffrey playing the most snaps of any running back in the NFL. Offensive coordinator Norv Turner would like to cut down on his usage by getting someone else on the field, but will not minimize his carries or touches. Now, on the topic of heavy workloads, expect Saints running back Alvin Kamara to get the rock more in New Orleans, especially with his buddy Mark Ingram now in Baltimore. Kamara says he wants to be consistent. Head coach Sean Payton hopes he's hungry because he'll be feeding him the ball way more.
I look really more on, how we're doing, and so I think based on the game we're in, we're not afraid to play him more snaps or get more touches, and yet when you get into the length of the season we have, we think he does a lot of things exceptionally well. So I think the question was, what new things? Well, there's a lot that you mess with and tinker with, but the versatility that he's playing with now and the level at which he's playing with, I'm pleased with.
And guys, keep in mind this. He had an NFL best, almost 153 scrimmage yards per game while Mark Ingram was out serving his suspension. Now enter Latavius Murray. And obviously, Latavius knows how to find the end zone. But either way, expect to have that bigger workload there for Kamara in New Orleans.
Do you have a search engine alert for Latavius Murray, Will Selva, your best friend?
No, he's there. He's there. He's part of the roster. He has to be part of the story.
Part of the roster.
Had to weasel him in there. Your guy.
Love him. Our best friends.
That's it.
Will Selva, we appreciate you, and we'll talk to you throughout the show. Time for a shoulda, woulda, coulda. You have your Microsoft Surfaces with yes and no. Okay. Be a model for me.
No problem.
Kyle.
I grew up a big fan of Vanna White. I know all her moves. It just goes like that, and then it goes like that.
So we just heard from Sean Payton on Alvin Kamara and his workload. Could Kamara carry the Saints offense if this Michael Thomas holdout continues this season, Nate?
All right. Could he carry the load? I'm going to say no. Because what happens is teams are going to come in and say, okay, there's no Michael Thomas. There's no number one threat, no all-pro wide receiver for us to stop. So we're going to load the box like you're moving homes. And from there, Kamara is going to have to deal with the pressure of coming out of the backfield, not just as a pass catcher, which he was the number 2 wide receiver on this team, but I'm talking about running in between the tackles. So if they had their eyes on him as a runner, what about when he's a wide receiver? Because he was the number 2 wide receiver on this team. So I'm going to say no. It's going to be tough for Kamara to do it alone without Ingram. Now with the Ravens and without Michael Thomas.
The question is if Michael Thomas is not there to start the season, correct? All right, this is not going to be a factor. But I will say, well, could he? I'm going to say yes.
Okay.
But I'm going to say no, he's not. Come on.
Okay, so
no, he's not going to have to. And no, they don't really want him to. And they really like what he is right now.
Right.
Maybe turn it up a little bit, but he's not going to be the guy that's going to shoulder the full load. They don't want that to happen. It's not that he can't. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying he's incapable. But I just see them as looking at him like he is what he is. They love him in his current role. If you ratchet up the touches, Steve Smith pointed this out to me when we were down there a couple of days ago, the production can go down. So, no. Yes and no.
Okay, I'm going to say just a straight, clean no is the whole point of the segment. I'm going to say a no. And it's no slight to Kamara. He's incredible.
Just a slight to Mike G.
Just to Mike, which he deserves some slights. Michael Thomas is a juggernaut. Like, I don't think anybody can replace that. But I will also reject the hypothetical because this ain't happening. They're going to get him in. They're going to pay him. I don't have sources, Kay. I have insight, and I look at people, and I can look at Sean Payton and be like, they're going to get Michael Thomas in. I have a good record in this. They'll get him in.
It's win now time for them. Get it done with Michael Thomas.
This could be the last ride.
And I feel like what we know about Sean Payton. He likes to divvy up the ball. They're at their best when they're not giving all the carries to one person out there. Jets running back Le'Veon Bell wants to let fantasy owners know he's sorry about holding out last year. This is a long time coming, he says. Here's his tweet. I want to take the moment to apologize to all the fantasy owners who picked me last year. I'm sorry I couldn't pull through for y'all, but trust me, this year is about to be way different. I'm bringing the ship this year.
Okay.
I like those emojis at the end, too. So looking at my rankings, we did this last week in a PPR league. I do have him higher than I think a lot of people have had him. He's number 5. He will be top 5. I would not be surprised if he finds his way in the top 3 in a PPR league when all is said and done as the focal point of that offense. We know Adam Gase is super excited about him. So should he be considered in for the first pick in fantasy drafts?
My head's just exploding looking at Melvin Gordon at 7. What the hell am I going to do with that? I'm going to say no for Le'Veon. I remember in the mid-2000s, for about 5 or 6 years in a row, there was a no-doubt number 1 pick. It was LaDainian Tomlinson. If you got the number 1 pick, you took LT. We are now entering the era of Saquon. I don't care who his receivers are. I don't care. You could take Amani Toomer and Phil McConkey and Stephen Baker, the touchdown maker, and I'm still taking Saquon number 1. He's the perfect player. It's no to Le'Veon. Saquon is the number 1.
I'll go yes. I agree with everything you said about Saquon Barkley, but if you look at the quarterback play, Eli doesn't have 3 receivers to throw to right now. So the pressure is going to be on Saquon more than ever before.
Well, Saquon's the man.
I get it, and I agree with you. He is a soon-to-be Hall of Famer.
He can handle it all.
But I'll say yes because not about Le'Veon doing it by himself, because the same thing I said about Kamara, teams will load the box, and they're going to challenge Sam Darnold. They're going to challenge Robbie Anderson. They're going to challenge this team, all of the complementary pieces outside of Le'Veon Bell to step up and make plays. But if Le'Veon Bell can lean on Sam Darnold can lean on the wide receivers and tight end play, and they can protect him, I do feel like Le'Veon Bell can not just have a great year on the ground, but he can do what Matt Forte commonly did, which was 100 catches in a season. So I'm going to say yes.
Part of me wants to say no because of the possibility of a hamstring pull or something like that. But I'm going to say yes. Unload the tank. He's been filling it up for the last year. Now he's got to come back, try and prove some stuff. Yeah, I think he should be in the conversation. And some running backs have had some big games in Adam Gase's
Say the name, Kay. There's a name nobody's saying.
Christian McCaffrey.
Thank you.
Wait. You said in the conversation. I'm thinking about it. I'm not going to necessarily make that, but he should be in the conversation.
Saquon worries me, but he doesn't worry me because he doesn't worry you. When you played the running back spot and you look at these guys all the time. So I'm with you on that. With Christian McCaffrey, you're saying, he could, Le'Veon could have 100 catches. He's had 85 one year. That's true. But Christian McCaffrey had 107. He set a record last year. I think that's only on the way up. So I'd still put those couple of guys ahead of Le'Veon, but it wouldn't surprise me or I think anybody at the table if he winds up.
Preseason is young. Let's see how he looks.
I'm just doing what the Cardinals did, pretending like they hadn't decided on Kyler Murray months ago.
Sure they have. Evaluating our options.
Bronco, we should go back and play some of those bits.
We should.
We really should. Sounds like a segment. Broncos' second-year receiver Courtland Sutton is poised for a big season, and Denver fans are well aware of his future fame. Check out Sutton signing a baby at Broncos training camp yesterday. Nate, I don't know what this is like. This is sort of crazy.
That is sort of crazy.
You ever signed a baby?
No, I've never signed a baby.
That surprises me. Garofalo, I ask you, if you could choose anybody to sign baby Carmen, who would it be?
It's kind of a personal thing. I don't want necessarily a stranger to sign my baby. I'd want somebody that I kind of know to sign. I'd let Nate Burleson sign my baby. Mr. Extra over here. So that later on, 5, 6, 7 years from now, I could say to Carmen, remember that time Uncle Nate signed your leg?
Yeah, right on the forehead.
Because they're signing the jersey. No, on the I want skin. Marker, Sharpie on skin.
Sharpie on skin.
Nate's not signing my baby. I'm where you're the father. Who would I sign my baby? Saquon, just take some of this talent to rub off. I am. And then for me, it's at Disneyland, any character who have the big head on and don't talk. Some of the most awkward parenting moments in your life is when your child finally meets their hero, and the hero can't speak. It's a series of pantomimes and gesturings, and it's like, Mickey, we watch you every day on your dumb show. You never shut up, and now my kid's trying to talk to you, and they're doing all sorts of nonsense like that. So I just start making dumb jokes. Seriously, we were at an Italian restaurant where the characters come by, and it's Chip and Dale, and I'll just be like, Chip, I thought you would work in a Mexican restaurant. You're Chip. And they just freaks them out. They don't know how to react. It breaks their training. It's the best. So I would have any of them sign it just to cut the tension of no conversation.
Does Calvin get sad when they're not speaking? Is he like he's not talking?
Because he plans the question he's going to ask. He works up his courage, and then sure enough, the sheriff of Nottingham comes over and doesn't say squat. He's doing this. And Calvin doesn't know what this is. Speak.
Never meet your heroes, man.
That's what I'm saying.
Never meet your heroes. That's what they say. Side note, before I answer this question, Juju signed a fan's head.
I saw it tattooed.
And the guy tattooed Juju's signature on his scalp.
James Conner, too.
Oh, really?
Out of control.
Thing.
Already?
But if I could pick a guy, I want a legend. I want somebody we all respect. I mean, somebody that has went down in sports glory.
We got
A man that wakes up and he pees excellence. I'm going Ricky Bobby.
Not Will Ferrell.
No,
Ricky
Bobby. Anybody signing my baby? It's Ricky Bobby.
It's good.
But you,
Not first, your last, Kate.
you can't like. I don't have a child, but I imagine you can't like scrub it off like we would do us, right? With
No.
the Sharpie. So like
No.
you're just wearing that out over. I would imagine like a month's time.
It takes a while. Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
how
it
do you
takes a
get that
while.
off of a baby?
I don't think you want to. I think you just
Has
leave
anybody
it.
ever had their baby signed? Tweet the show at #GMFE. We need tips here.
There's all
on
kind of
the
stuff being
program.
signed out there, Kate.
I know.
That's
I signed some
true.
stuff.
Oh,
Oh, like
okay.
what?
Soap opera appearances? You
Yeah,
signed everything.
what did
Are
you
you
sign?
kidding me? Okay, a lot of things that aren't paper. Whatever.
Did they come
if the check clears.